guys, and welcome to the Love is Stupid podcast. Today is our launch day, and we are so excited. I'm your host, Ray Solomon, here with my husband and co-host, Jake Green.
Daters and haters, how you doing?
And our Nashville bachelor single guy on the podcast, Dustin Summers.
Hello.
I'd like to call out that we already have an eye roll moment.
Already.
Wow.
15 seconds in.
That was quick.
It's a good day.
It was quick. So
it's Valentine's Day. So we had a lot of eye rolling today.
So it is Valentine's Day. We officially launched the first 3 episodes of the podcast this morning. We're so excited. And for anybody who is around the Nashville area, maybe you saw us on Today in Nashville this morning.
I hope you did.
I mean, one major hurdle's already cleared. My mother found out about this podcast and she didn't freak out. So
I can't believe you didn't tell her.
I wanted it to be a surprise, and a surprise it was.
So the story is Dustin did not tell his mother that he was even doing the podcast. She apparently just so happened to have Today in Nashville on in the background and thought that she had butt dialed you, or
she could hear my voice come
she
through.
could hear his voice, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's coming from the TV." My parents would have freaked out if I didn't tell them.
It was a big surprise for her.
So she thought she butt dialed you, went into the living room or wherever the TV was on, and realized you're on TV.
Yeah. It took her a little while to kind of connect the dots.
Your mom, my mom, would be so
They would
mad.
freak out.
My
out.
mom is surprised by nothing at this point.
Yeah.
She's raised 4 boys.
That's fair.
I'm the last one.
No surprises.
She doesn't really.
And
do
also,
it.
when you
fair
have
enough.
boys, I think my mom can testify to this too, because I have 5 brothers, that I stay in much more touch with my parents than my brothers do, per se. But I think that's also why I get a little extra pressure to make sure that I keep them in the loop, because the boys do not.
That's true.
I feel like you're accusing me of not talking to my mother, and I don't appreciate
No,
that.
I'm sure you talk to your mother, but you just don't fill her in. Obviously.
I'd let her
You
know
can't
that.
deny that?
Oh, well, I have to protect her sometimes from some of these things. So. Love you, Mom.
Okay.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, mothers. We love you.
Speaking of parents, I sent my parents the link to the podcast
Yeah.
and was like, hey, go subscribe and you can listen to it now that it's out. And my dad responded and was like, what kind of podcast are you doing? Because right below ours, where it recommends other ones, was a bunch of sex podcasts. And so he was like, I'm sorry, what is your podcast about? I swear it's not about that. I would not send that to my dad.
Oh no, that's not good. We need a better search engine optimization. That's not good.
We're just getting started.
Sex videos are coming up. Okay, well, good to know.
So, as a little bonus, because we're so excited that the podcast is finally launched, we've been working on this for a few months now, so to have it out in the world is amazing.
It's a big
and
deal.
since it's Valentine's Day, we decided that we were going to talk about romantic comedies.
Let's get into it. So we crumpled up. How many movies have we thrown
There's
into the
8
pot?
or so in here. There's
About 8
yeah.
rom-coms. So we're gonna randomly draw one and talk about it.
And thank you to Today in Nashville for giving us the idea for this little segment here, because they were breaking it down across the country of everybody's favorite romantic
And they were so
comedies.
supportive. So shout out to Today in Nashville, the hosts and the producers and everyone behind the scenes,
It was fun.
really making us feel like we were at home.
Yeah, they were
fun.
great.
That was cool.
So great. All right,
Here we go.
draw. Yeah.
Lead us off there.
I get to go first?
You go
I'm going
first.
with the big piece of paper here. Pardon the uncrumpling. Princess Bride. Oh, this is top
Yes.
5 for me.
Okay.
I
Top
love
5 movie ever, top 5 rom-com.
100%.
Okay.
This is one of the movies, one of multiple movies that I grew up watching multiple times. So you know how you grow up and you
for
just
sure.
want it on repeat? Princess Bride was one of them.
And one of the things that's cool about it, the whole premise of it is that Fred Savage is having a sick day, and his granddad, Columbo, comes over and reads him a book, and that's how they learn
That's
all that
right.
stuff. So it's a great sick day movie. Andre the Giant's in it. Shout out WrestleMania 3 when he defeated, Hulk Hogan defeated him in WrestleMania 3, I believe, at Madison Square Garden.
You always tie it back to some kind of athletic sporting event.
But I mean,
well done.
It was a cool movie.
It was a great movie.
Yeah, I watched this movie over and over again.
I
I
grew
feel
up
like
on it.
every little girl did. Is it the same for guys, though? You grew up on that movie? 'Cause I totally watched
100%.
that
I
movie.
probably watched this movie 20 plus times.
Yeah.
Well, it appealed to guys and girls because it was actually a romantic movie, but it was also an adventure.
There's
There's fancy
fighting.
stuff. There's sword fighting. There's all kinds of cool stuff. There's some big eels. Remember they got in the water and the eels were
My name is Diego Montoya.
You got it.
Killed my father. Prepare to die.
Inconceivable. I was so distraught though after watching this movie so much, and I'm probably gonna mess up how you say his name, but Cary Elwes.
Sure.
When he played the bad guy in a movie after that, I was like, no.
You were appalled.
I totally had typecasted him into that role, and I was like, you can't do that. You're messing with me.
He was also in my favorite romantic comedy, Saw. If you've ever seen Saw.
Saw. Oh,
He's
okay.
in Saw.
You've got a southern draw. I didn't know if you were saying Saul.
I thought he was saying Saul too.
Yeah.
No.
All right, next one.
Better call Saul or something.
Let's see. Can't uncrumple these. Does this count as a romantic comedy?
It was on the list.
40-Year-Old Virgin, if anyone can see that.
This was, so I looked up 3 top 50 rom-coms, and that was on every single one of them in the top 20.
Really?
40-Year-Old Virgin?
Mind-blowing.
I just think of that as like a comedy, though, not really a romantic comedy.
Well,
although I guess he does find a girl in the end.
Well, I mean, the first half of the movie is kind of a raunchy, Judd Apatow, knocked up, old school type of movie.
Yes.
And the last half of it is pretty much him and the girl who works at the Sell Your Stuff on Amazon store.
You know, the one clip from that movie that it will always stay with me is when she says to put his bike in the trunk, and he made some reference about, can I put my bike in it or something like that? I don't know. That was stupid. I'm sorry.
I think I always quote the
No, you
French
remember
toast
it.
line. I need some French toast.
When she's drunk? Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, the girl who has the interlock system on her
Leslie
car
Mann?
because she has too many DUIs.
Oh, yeah. Can you blow on this? Yeah.
Also, I absolutely am obsessed with her. I think she is like
She's incredible.
amazing actress.
Can we get her on
Leslie,
the
I love
podcast?
you. Yes, please. Totally love it.
Good early Jonah Hill appearance. He was the one
Yeah.
trying to buy the shoes with fish
That's
in the
right.
movie. Paul Rudd's great in it.
It blows my mind how many movies he was in before Superbad.
Yeah.
He popped up in a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's
I had no
only
idea.
Isn't that funny though in general where you see like kind of an old school movie and then, you know, all those people that were kind of the B characters you don't really recognize are now massive. I think that happens
What was
quite a bit.
the corporate Christmas party movie where all of our favorite actors are in it?
I think it's just Christmas
It's called
Party.
Christmas Party.
Christmas
yeah,
Party.
with Jennifer Aniston. And
Yeah.
there was a lot of people that really ended up becoming
Yeah,
big
I'm
after
terrible
that
with
movie.
names, but one of the leads in Silicon Valley's in it, and a lot of other guys. It's
Miller,
awesome.
J.D. Miller.
No, the like lead nerdy. Oh yeah, no, he is in that too. You're right.
We did a lot of research for this.
Wait, this is off the cuff.
Whoops.
I'm drawing Crazy Stupid Love.
This
Ray,
is my favorite.
This is your favorite one.
I love
really?
this. I really love this movie. Yeah,
Okay.
I do. Like it's Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. Thank you. Yeah,
Name the 3 movies they were in together. There's 3 of them.
Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling.
I
It
couldn't
would
do
be that one and then La La Land. But what's the third?
The one where they're... Damn it. I shouldn't even bring this up. It's the one where they're like gangsters and stuff. Lawless, maybe?
No. Now we really didn't do our research for this. Obviously, we're not movie reviewers.
We're so excited about the
I know.
launch that, No.
I know, but I really love that movie. I think it feels
It's a
very
good one.
like normal life type of a movie.
Yeah.
And it's also Ryan Gosling unveils that he has a move that he does with girls in his Bureau's movies.
Oh, the Dirty Dancing.
Yep.
That has to count as a rom-com too, right?
We didn't put it in there, but yeah, she does.
That one too. Like that and The Princess Bride, I like wore
So
those
speaking
out.
of moves,
But that's a movie you can't fuck up.
Justin, what's your move?
We have
covered
talked
this
about this
already.
on's before. We have.
But I don't know that everybody knows
But
this.
for
yet.
everybody who
not
didn't
everybody
watch
needs
The
to.
Bachelor breakdown, you definitely need to tell this move.
It's
You get Jake's move in the very first episode
his
of.
credit score.
My
We
move,
love
I don't
those.
know if that's a move.
That was a pretty good move.
All right,
I mean,
it
it's
was a
kind of
move.
a move.
It's the ab scrape. It's the crowded room
Ab
ab
scrape.
scrape. You just
What
gotta,
are we
you just do it.
Not
You just-
something that I could
You
pull
just have,
off.
you just have to, just make that and then
Yeah.
I
let it
totally could
resonate
see
or
it.
something.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Mhm.
2009
The
was a big year.
ab
2009 was a big year for us.
Women are gonna gush over this one. Pretty Woman.
Okay, let me just say I love Richard Gere and I love Julia Roberts, and don't hate me, I love Pretty Woman, but I don't understand how this is like the romantic sweep you off your feet type of a thing that like a hooker gets picked up by one of her Johns and this is supposed to like make us really happy.
I never liked this
Well,
movie.
I don't
yeah,
get it
surface
either.
level, that's awkward. He picks up a hooker, he's got a ton of money, and he romanticizes her, spends a bunch of money, and they fall in love. But I think that the premise of it is this person is just day to day grinding to make a living. Grinding is maybe not the right word. Realized that
you got it.
That came out.
That was actually
But
very accurate.
It's all about this knight coming to rescue you kind of moment that I'm just trying to get by, and then this wealthy guy sweeps me off my feet.
I don't like it. I think that's horrible. It's a horrible thing to, like, for girls to think that they need this guy to rescue them, because I'm like, my feminist side is coming out a little bit here. Like, I love you guys, great movie, whatever, but
it reminds me, we can cuss on this, right? Like, this is like, we're
do whatever you want.
We can shoot from the hip on this.
Sure.
It reminds me, Chappelle had a segment on one of his things about how movies would actually play out in real life.
Okay.
Oh,
And one of them is that they recreate the scene from Pretty Woman when Julia Roberts and Richard Gere lie in bed, like after the first night together, and they're like on the pillow together, and she's giving him her sob story of how she got into this.
Okay.
And in the movie, I guess Richard Gere is kind of like takes pity on her, or still attracted to her, and wants to kind of have their weekend together.
Yeah.
But Chappelle's whole sketch was, if some prostitute was doing that, after she got to the end of the story, that the guy lying in bed would be like, okay, you gotta get the fuck out of here.
Bye.
Well, isn't that kind of the whole thing? Is that you, like, I've never done this, let me just clarify, but, like, don't you pay them to leave? Like, otherwise it's just a date.
That's why you're paying them.
Yeah.
All right, raise up. No, don't steal Ray's thunder. Raise up next.
No, I don't think Dustin's
We're going
strong
out of
one.
order? All right.
I don't know. Just go for it.
Oh, is this yours? No,
I
you just
don't
do it.
know.
Just go. Jeez, breaking the rules.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
This is right in the middle of the McConaughey rom-com era of all his stuff. When he forgot he was a great actor, it was just making all these.
Now,
Yeah.
he and Kate Hudson have been in quite a few of these romantic comedy things together, and I love them
They
together.
have great chemistry.
It's
There's
so
no doubt
great.
about it.
It's so
One of the
great.
great things that I appreciate about Matthew McConaughey is when we first met, you had never seen Dazed and Confused.
I hadn't.
Blew my mind, but you knew every single one of his quotes.
Yeah.
Like, all right, all right, all right.
So
Or that's what I love about high school girls.
That one is such a creepy.
the same age.
I'd be a lot cooler if you did.
And now I realized her infatuation with Matthew McConaughey very early on in our
He does a
relationship.
good
So
Matthew
I
McConaughey.
went above and beyond to do Matthew McConaughey impersonations and, like, get into
How'd that go?
It's good. He's
are
actually
we
good
not
at it.
married?
Yeah.
So well,
That's what did it. Was that?
obviously.
I mean, that and the
My
credit score.
impersonations.
Right.
And the credit score.
Obviously. You have to check out the first episode of the podcast to hear about the credit score story. But I was going to say something else about that. I don't know. I forgot.
Well, that movie was dumb, only because, like, they did the whole thing where he works for a magazine, right?
They both do.
They both work for different magazines,
Yes.
and they're kind of doing competing storylines. Yeah. I remember the whole thing where she was, like, nicknaming his penis. That was a weird part of it.
Yeah, that's so emasculating.
Okay, so before we move on, though, about these two actors, like, I always say that when you are, like, a scale of good looking, that personality has a 4-point swing.
Mm-hmm.
So you could go from, like, a 6 to a 10, but I feel like Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey are prime examples of that, because if you just were to look at them, they're maybe not that attractive, but there is something so attractive about both of them.
Yeah.
Do you disagree with me?
I would agree with Matthew McConaughey. I didn't think about Kate Hudson in that way.
She's just so, like, cute and whatever, but you wouldn't
next
necessarily
door kind
yeah,
of?
you wouldn't necessarily think of her as this, like, gorgeous bombshell of a person if you were just,
no.
like, looking. But I
She's
think
beautiful.
they're both, like, incredibly attractive,
But their
beautiful, handsome.
personality
But
definitely
yeah,
gives
but
it
I
a
think
swing.
that
Okay.
gives it
Okay.
the
I see what you're
extra,
saying.
right? Like,
I didn't know where you were going with that, but
Yeah.
I understand.
All right,
all
ready,
right,
you're up.
let's see. What do we got?
We only have one
You
more.
crumpled these up really good. That's hard to... Oh my god, I love this movie. It's like my new obsession. Longshot.
Yes.
Is that the Seth Rogen thing?
Seth
Yes.
Rogen, Charlize Theron. I thought she was brilliant in this movie because I wouldn't have thought that she could have had proper comedic timing, but they
Yeah.
were incredible in this movie.
Perfect pair. Charlize Theron apparently doesn't age. She's J-Lo.
Yeah, seriously.
And, I mean, you name any of these girls that you're like, you're 50 years old? How? You look 25.
Yeah, she's
Like-
just gorgeous.
Like when someone asks me to do like the celebrity top 5 or your celebrity hall pass list, I don't even put Charlize on it just because I'm not sure she's human. Like
She's untouchable.
I think she's just untouchable.
I actually
I don't
kind of
think I
agree
would
with that because I tell Jake that
She's
all the time. I'm like,
incredible.
she just looks like a sculpture. Like, I just want to like stare at her like a work of art rather than.
But Longshots one like probably the newest movie that's in here, and if you haven't seen Longshot, you should go check it out.
I
It is-
love this
totally
movie.
should.
This is one of 3 movies that we've actually bought on
Yeah.
Amazon. One of the other ones is Molly's Game. Shout out to Molly's Game.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But this movie is incredible.
Well, and
Totally
the whole
worth it.
premise is Charlize Theron is a super successful. I think she's the Secretary of State.
She's
Yes.
running for president.
And she is geared up to run for president. Not Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
Seth
Seth
Rogen.
Rogen.
is kind of like her buddy from like when they were growing
She
up.
used to
school,
babysit
yeah.
And
him.
he used to be, and he's
Yeah.
kind of like a schleppy journalist who ends up
He
trailing
plays
around with
his
her.
typical role.
Yeah, but it's
Totally.
really funny, and Charlize is great in it. The scene where they're high and she's trying to
Totally.
hostage negotiate.
Which is on Molly.
Exactly.
Oh.
Like I mean, that's
It's
just
awesome.
one.
And I
Charlize
feel
is-
like
so
it's just a
funny.
feel good movie all the way around. Of like
It
it
is.
just ends really well. It's like
Yeah.
I love this. If you're looking for a great movie to watch on Valentine's Day and you haven't seen it, we laughed so hard that we
Yes.
had to pause it a couple times because we were missing things.
We
It
had
was
to pause it 5 minutes in because the opening scene is Seth Rogen. He's a journalist. He infiltrates the Nazi organization,
Neo-Nazis, yeah.
neo-Nazis, and is starting to get a tattoo. And they find him out that he's a journalist and he's Jewish and all this kind of stuff. And he jumps out of the window, smashes into a car, lays down, and he's like, "I got it!" And he's got the phone and all this. Oh my god, it's hilarious.
Great good
Sorry.
movie. Just out in the theaters last year. Check it out. Very
Yeah.
good.
One of
Yeah,
my
yeah.
favorites.
So I drew Clueless, 1995.
Oh, Clueless.
Oh,
Again,
Paul Rudd.
that
Paul
was
Rudd.
young Paul Rudd. Oh my gosh, totally.
Yeah, for sure.
I haven't seen this movie in so
Since high school.
long. It's been a really long
I
time.
mean, it's a romantic comedy, but you understand that they're like step siblings,
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how.
right?
Sometimes
that's
when you
true.
go on to like Netflix or Amazon or whatever, I don't know how these people are categorizing what counts as like a romantic comedy or comedy in general,
Yeah.
especially on HBO. I feel like there's things in the comedy section that are not even remotely close. This one I feel like is like toeing the line for me that I wouldn't have put it
It's like,
in a romantic comedy.
like in the Golden Globes that year when The Martian was nominated as a comedy. You remember
What?
that?
Are you
Seriously?
serious? That
Sure.
doesn't make any sense.
Check it out.
Somebody
go
has a sick, twisted sense of humor.
Go Google it.
Yeah. All right.
Are we done with Clueless?
Yeah.
Please.
We're moving on from that one. I feel
right.
like that's
We got one
the
more?
one more.
Last one,
Our
right?
very last Valentine's
Quarterback?
Day romantic comedy movie is. Let's see. Oh. Of course you love
What is
this
it?
one for the last.
What is it?
This is not a comedy, folks. He is no way. Once upon a time in Hollywood.
Wonderful romantic comedy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I mean,
sneaky
honestly,
Jake.
I thought that we only had one left before that. Dustin has made us watch this movie so many times.
It's amazing.
Okay, I have to say, because this came out last summer, and
Yes.
for the 4th of July, we got a room at the JW Marriott downtown Nashville. We had a bunch
Shout
of
out
friends.
JW.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
beautiful.
God, incredible.
But we were hanging out at the pool. Beautiful day on the 4th of July. Midday, Dustin leaves hanging
right.
out with the group to go to the movies to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood again.
For the second
Again.
time.
I mean, it's a great movie, but
It was amazing.
good lord.
Great romantic comedy. Leonardo
If you're
DiCaprio
in
and
love
Brad
with
Pitt.
Leo and Brad.
Romantic comedy. Oh my god. I love that movie. Brad
Fantastic.
Pitt, Leo, you guys did an incredible
It's
job.
my favorite romantic
Not
comedy.
a rom-com.
It's-
You failed on that.
Girls, this is tough sometimes being the only girl between these
Ooh.
two. Oh my
Is
gosh.
that it? Any other romantic comedies we need to hit?
No, I think we covered it with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, I think that's the way that we end this thing.
Yeah.
Seriously, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in today, for spending a portion of your Valentine's Day with us at the Love is Stupid podcast.
And thank you for your support. I mean, we've
Yeah.
already seen support from friends, family, fans, all that kind of stuff in the first day.
Yeah, we're blown away. It feels really good to have this out. You can get the first 3 episodes anywhere that you listen to your podcast. So for those of us who have iPhones, you can download on your iPhone.
Feel
If you
your
do not,
eyes piercing the back
we're
of
on
my skull.
we're on Stitcher, we're on Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, you can find the Love is Stupid podcast. We have the first 3 episodes, which includes just kind of an intro into what we're doing, and then part 1 and part 2 of a date with Dustin and a particular young lady. And then the rest of our episodes will be coming out every Wednesday. You'll get one new episode once a week from us. We're really excited. We want to hear from you guys. Please subscribe, follow us here on YouTube, give us a 5-star rating, and if you have any suggestions for what you want to hear us talk about,
send them our way.
Please let us know.
For
In the
sure.
meantime, have a great Valentine's Day and enjoy some of these amazing romantic comedies, perhaps.
There you go. #Android.
Oh my God.